Citizens may speak on items listed on the agenda. The request to speak card should be completed and returned to the city clerk upon arrival prior to the board reaching the public comments section of the agenda. Citizen comments are limited to 3 minutes unless otherwise required by law. Comments related to the public hearings listed below will be heard when the specific hearing starts. Moving on to the items for individual consideration. Number A, receive a report, hold a discussion, and take action on approving the minutes from the regular meetings held on April 5th, 2022 and April 19th, 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Then the minutes are approved. Item B, receive a report, hold a discussion, and take action on a request to make changes and add signage to the facade at 401-405 West Main. Item number 2022-008H. Ms. Dow?
So, as you know, that is one of 3 buildings that has been in progress for a while, and she would like to come back. Previously, you had approved taking the mansard roof off, and so now the request is to clean and repair the underneath, and then paint the brick and trim, add fabric awnings over the window openings, repair the metal strip at the top of the building, and add signage. And you can take that, yeah, it's not, I bet you're ready to get that.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Covered.
Don't you love it?
It's lovely. I think you'll
You'll
like
be able
that.
to improve it.
Are you sure you want to make changes? Everyone in town can talk about your building if you left it that way.
It's got the nice pile out in front, so, yeah, you can tell the brackets there on the top, and there's some peeling, and so that would be cleaned and repaired. And, let's see, there is one of the drawings that has been done that describes the work, and there's another photo later that shows that in color, and then the colors of the paint that she's requesting, and that's what it would look like. And then that's also requesting a sign and a different version of the sign, and yet a different version. She kind of got this momentarily, like when it was going to be posted, and so we didn't have a lot of time for dialogue on preferences, so I'll just let her talk about that. But the bottom right is what it looked like before the roof was removed.
Any of that building still left? The old building?
No.
I didn't think so.
Probably the east wall.
I noticed
Between
it.
the other buildings, the back's metal, the front's been redone.
I noticed at the bottom 2 or 3 feet might be the old foundation.
On the side, yes,
Yeah.
but not in front.
No, it's all been, that front is like 1970s brick that's not historical. It's like a residential brick.
It sure is great to get that mansard off of there.
Yeah.
Already a huge improvement.
Yes.
I
Oh, for
just
sure.
want to go back a few slides,
Or,
all the way back to the beginning.
oh, let me go ahead and give mine, and then I'll let you talk to them. And
Pardon my
if you,
interruption.
no.
I
That's
don't want to
fine.
steal your thunder. Go right ahead.
Well, it's not very much thunder, so. I was curious if, obviously, the brick on the exterior has been placed over the front of the building. Do you think on the lower facade that any of that is still existing underneath the brick, or it was all gone?
It used to be windows, so they've like completely busted all that out.
So you
Like,
can't
if
tell
you look
from
at
the
that
inside.
old- See the old picture?
Right.
That's all windows. So they
Right.
took all those windows out, bricked it, and then put those arched windows in.
Just
Who
redid
knows
the
what-
storefront. David, you,
On the inside, you can tell that there's none of
There's-
that
it's not
original
there.
foundation down there that
Okay.
supported that front. It doesn't look like there are old pictures or as much foundation down there anyways.
I tried to get a look at that on Saturday, when the paper would blow up and down and I could see inside there. It looks like there's nothing in there but structural materials, is that correct?
It's still column.
Yeah. Okay,
okay, sorry about that.
that's all right.
So, the surveys have all said, they've all been done since the building was modified, and so they all say that it's non-contributing in its current state because of the alterations to the primary facade, which we were discussing. Second story removed, and so, and then this is just more about the building that Rachel added. Okay, now we'll go back to wherever you tell me. You want,
Well, yeah, we can start with that.
okay.
Would you like to address the board?
Sure, I mean, I don't really know what you want me to say, other than, this is what I want done. I just want to make it look nicer. We've got that new steakhouse that's supposed to be going in next door, and so I'd like it to look kind of clean and nothing bold. Just kind of keep it clean, white and black. I'd like the awnings to be black. I mean, just like the next picture. I don't even know how to work this thing. Do we have the next one? But that silver right in between the white, you can't really tell in this picture, but you can't tell in the either, but there's that trim.
On the next slide, Donna, if you go to the next slide, it looks like there's three different colors there.
Well, it's not really supposed to be. This is just computer animated from Ricky Bates. So the white that's on the brick at the top and the bottom and the middle would all be, it's all the same color. There is a trim that goes between the two whites to kind of break it up, and that's the existing silver trim that's on the building now that you can see kind of better in this picture than anything up there. That silver trim, we're gonna try to clean that and leave that as a silver to break up the white. And then
Is that a metal trim that's on?
it is a metal trim. We're not sure how well we can make it by just clean. We have to touch up the silver, but some of it's covered up with the awnings because the awnings were attached there. You can kind of see the damage.
Are you gonna repaint the portion of the building that's on Burnett?
As long as it's in budget, that's the plan. That's, as long as it's in budget, that's the plan, to paint that. But it's not originally.
Full east.
Yeah, just this, we're gonna do this front section first.
Where that brick is, where the residential brick is, not the whole east side.
Yeah, we haven't touched that one.
I'm concerned about you painting the rest of the brick on that building. We traditionally don't paint bricks because you run the risk of damaging the surface of the brick as time goes by, and I've seen that happen on many buildings downtown.
You do the research, if it's painted right, you don't have that.
Yeah.
The problem is brick's supposed to be, you probably know, absorbent, it's supposed to breathe.
Breathe.
And when you paint it, it won't breathe, so it doesn't allow moisture to escape. But if it's done right and with the right materials, if you do the research, there's nothing wrong with painted brick.
Personally, I've seen too many buildings on Main Street,
I mean, it's already been painted at the top.
that have been painted, and some of them were done properly, and they still blistered and paint pulp peeled off, and the brick started deteriorating.
I mean, that's a chance, it's, again, any type of weather or anything can cause that. That's just keeping the maintenance up on it, you know, which obviously everybody's required to do, not only Main Street, but all over town. But if you keep the maintenance on it, I don't, you know, understand that's in should not paint brick, but I just, when you tear off that ugly looking awning and you leave what's there and just paint the rest of it,
It's not gonna look good.
it's not gonna look good, it's just, you know.
There's also an issue with what percentage of the facade can be covered by awnings or signage, and I don't remember what that percentage is, do you, Donna?
It's 20%, correct?
I think it's more than that.
You know, the
The signing was, I mean, that's less awning than what was on there before, like quite a bit. I mean, to be realistic, I've got to have some kind of awning on there because my electric bill already is insane because I get every bit of heat that comes from that park on both sides. I'm going to have some type of awning to help me with electrical, just to be realistic.
Yeah, there's a store down in the 400 block, that I believe they put a film on windows to block the sun coming in.
I understand, but I would prefer some type of awning. I mean, if you walk down Main Street, 90% of them have awnings and 90% of them are painted. I understand if the brick was historical, but that brick at the bottom is 1960s or 70s residential brick. It is not even a historical brick. It doesn't.
I understand that, but we're kind of reluctant to paint any bricks.
Well, there's 3 separate different kinds of bricks on this building. So the only way to make it look cohesive is to add some type of paint to make it look like it's one building. The top brick is, if you look at the pictures, is one type of brick. The brick on the side is a different brick, and the brick at the bottom is a different brick. So there's no way to make it look cohesive. That wasn't me, so I'm not sure who did that.
I have done extensive research on painting brick, and I know that there is a way to prep it properly and use the right kind of paint. So what's the plan for prepping, and what kind of paint will you be using?
We have that all.
Damage to bricks.
So me and Tony Kai have already pulled up all that research. We've given it to Alan on how we want it handled, the correct paint and all that, and he's supposed to be doing that properly. The guy we've spoke with him, I didn't print that out, 'cause I'm not a painter, but I do have all that information printed out from Tony Kai. He did send it to me. It was how to prep it, what exact paint texture to use, the primer and everything, and we do have that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that, Donnie?
Yes, he's doing the one who did Wayne's as well.
The side windows, I lived across the street, and the side windows have always been blocked up with curtains or something.
Yeah, we had to we have it during the summer. We pull down a shade, but when it's not 100 degrees outside, we like for them to be open so that people can see in and see what it is as a business.
I understand. Are the awnings over those windows really necessary?
I think to break up some of that, to break up the building, you're gonna have to have something up there.
Well, you're gonna have
I mean, my electric bill is almost $1,500 a month in August.
I understand.
That's a realistic, and so I've got to have some kind of help.
That's a fact of life on Main Street. All the buildings are like that. You're gonna have a sign over the facade, correct, over the center?
We're still working on signage because we didn't get the signage put in for this meeting, like with all the specifications that you were going to need. And so mainly what we're working on today is facade, like the painting, the awning, the color approval. I mean, I don't have all the details for the sign.
The drawings show all the signage and everything, that's why I guess I'm a little confused about it.
Do you want to address this? Because I'm really not.
We started working with the signage, had some communication problems, so the sign machine, we met with them last week and kind of gave him some ideas of what we wanted, and he did these renderings here, and nothing's been approved, nothing's due, so we knew that we'd have to come back to y'all with specs. There's no sizing, there's nothing on this that would actually tell what what you need or what the design committee for the sign deal would need to approve it. But we wanted the feedback. Number one, if she goes with the cantilever sign on the corners, she'd like for it to be lit. The size of the lettering on the main. It's probably not going to be both.
No, I was trying to do one or the other.
Cost-wise, it may be just the channel lettering across the front of the building and
Okay,
nothing.
let me get it clear. All we're looking at now is the paint,
Right.
the awnings, and that's it.
Right. Paint, awning, repair, that's all you're approving today. We put in the signage to get some feedback, what may or may not be acceptable, But, you know, and I understand the concern about painting brick. You know, I've got a neighbor up the street that's painted his bricks, been well over 20 years, and it's still stood the test of time. And it has to do with maintenance, obviously. The brick up above, if you look at it, it's been painted. You can tell because the grout is the same color as the brick. So it has been painted in the past.
Maintenance is a key word there.
Maintenance is the key word, and
I'm sure you do due diligence. in
Yeah,
maintaining
yeah,
that
I-
building. I've seen other buildings on Main Street that were not maintained properly.
Well, we just got a brand new roof, so the black coping at the top's brand new. And put new flooring on the inside. So I mean, we're slowly getting there. It's just, it all takes money.
In one of the slides, you showed some paints. Can we go back to that slide?
This, is it this one? I want to know.
yeah, it's a black and then just a pure white.
I'm not
Uh,
sure.
So you have already picked out the paint then?
Yes,
I picked up
yes.
those two colors, yes.
Do we know what your neighbor is going to do paint-wise, or?
I do not know what my neighbor's doing.
That's what, you know, and we do not.
I guess as long as
You
you
know,
get,
or no?
as long
Do
as you
not.
get your building painted first, that's his problem.
Well, yeah,
Amen.
and, you know, he is going to come back with a metal awning, I'll tell you that. It won't be the cloth awning with the deal on that, so it's gonna break that up between the three buildings, because, you know, the approved for Wayne's, the the cloth awning for it, it'll be black also.
Are these awnings going to be cloth or metal?
No, the
These
ones
are
on her will
cloth.
be canvas,
Yes.
what's required.
You said there was awnings there before,
Well, that big metal,
Just
huge,
the-
ugly
That
awning.
big
Yeah.
mansard,
so it's part of the roof?
the facade that you removed.
Yeah, it went way.
It went all the way to the roof, but
Right, that's what you're.
but it wasn't part of the roof. Like it just stuck out. So the coping of the roof went on the outside.
Thank you for removing it.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted it gone.
I'd get up in the morning, I'd sit in the chair and use my respirator, and I'd look out there and go, oh my God.
Yes, it was ugly, but
Yeah, and that's, you know, again, that's, you
So
know,
we-
for the, I know it's brave, but for the aesthetics of the whole block or even that building, if you don't paint that 70s brick on there,
Yeah.
you still have an ugly building.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to.
No, it's ugly.
It's
We
gonna be an
agree.
ugly building with that painted brick.
I probably wouldn't have bought it had I not got
I've
a
got
deal
that
on
brick
it.
on my house, so I'm not criticizing the brick itself, fact is, that's my house.
But isn't that depending on who's looking at it? Because like for me personally,
Right.
to me, that does not look like an ugly brick. I like that.
Oh, I
But
do
it's a
too.
personal choice.
Yeah.
Because when you look at that brick, you look at the brick in the hotel,
Mm-hmm.
to me, it looks exactly the same, it's just a different shade. Yours is brown and theirs is red, but it's got the same black. So,
You know, I had an add-on in my house several years ago, and we got that brick on it, and we tried to get it. It's an old Chicago brick, and we couldn't even get a run to come close to matching the deal. We had to have our brick, once it put on, come and stained to give semi to that match. And after years of fading, it finally you really can't tell, but I don't think it's the same brick as on the hotel. I don't think the same
Yeah.
type of
I'm
maple
saying-
run
I'm
or
just saying
anything
the
like.
pattern of it.
Oh, yeah, the pattern. Other than if you look at that corner that's got the weird overlap of the corners, that doesn't look right. And, you know, the only way to outside of painting is fix is tear off all that brick and redo the whole front brick in something that's more deal and
Expensive.
very
Getting
expensive.
back to the awning, are we talking about a metal awning, or are we talking about a
Yeah, mine would be
Canvas
canvas.
Metal frame with the canvas, same thing that was approved for Wayne's.
I'm still concerned that you're covering too much of the facade with the awning.
It's basically going over the door entry and the two windows, and it's, like I say, not near what was there, so I don't know the exact percentages of what it's covering, if the profile is too tall, if that's the issue
they're a
of each
little
one
high
of
on
them,
that
we
picture.
can,
They are a little high.
There's,
we
they
can-
would be down.
right.
That's
They need
that's,
to be lower even to be efficient.
right, that's not a correct drawing.
And
He,
this rendering shows less space between the top of the awning and where
Right.
you might have a sign. So this is not an accurate
No,
Well,
so we've gone back and forth, and honestly, I'm just gonna be honest, getting everyone on the same page is not the easiest. So that was the original drawing. They would be dropped down where they would actually cover, like right at the top of the windows. He was that's the original. There should have been an updated one where they were dropped down lower, which is this one, and then this needed to come down. He dropped these two down, but did not drop the middle one down.
If you want to get signage on the front of the building, you're going to have to drop that.
Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah. Well, what's gotta be done is the profile that attaches to the building's gonna have to be.
Yeah, that's where we're,
Show here.
Well, Wayne's profile on his building's 3 foot. Okay, so where it attaches from the bottom of that, the awning where it attaches to the building, the top is 3 foot. So we don't have that perspective to look at yet, unfortunately, because the awnings are there, but, you know, and then she's got, you know, that was a 25 foot, and what we approved was 25 foot across the full front of it. Okay, and 3 foot up, and that left that in room to paint that sign.
I still think that if you research the possibility of putting a film on the inside of the window, you could probably block a considerable amount of light coming in there.
I mean, I don't mind. It's just, I teach dance in those rooms, and I really need awnings to help with like being able to do my job, because we have mirrors. So the light coming in is bouncing off mirrors, and I've got to be able to teach without being
Windows are
blinded.
usually covered up though, aren't they? With a-
Only in the summer, only in the summer.
Okay.
You know, if you're
We
concerned
roll them
about-
up and down depending on the sun. I mean, just like anybody would with their home to block some lighting. But I mean, I feel like the awnings are very much going to make the aesthetic of the building look nice. Because if not, you're going to have a lot of one color and nothing's going to be breaking up. You're just gonna have a lot of building. I mean, that building's 50 feet wide. It's a double building. So you're gonna have to do something to break up that plaster at the top.
Your proposed signage will definitely block it or break it up.
So let me make a suggestion here. So it looks like we've got really 3 primary issues. One is the paint, the second is the awnings, and the third the signage. And if I'm understanding correctly, you guys aren't really prepared at this point.
We're prepared to move forward with the
For
paint
signage
color.
or the awnings, but you're asking us at this point for the painting, is that correct?
Well, painting and awnings.
Painting and awning.
Painting and awnings are not prepared to do those.
But with the awnings, do we have an accurate rendering? And then there was a question I heard as to whether or not the awnings are the right size.
So it's really just placement on the
Right.
awnings, I think. That's the awning you want, right?
I want
It's
a
just
canvas.
placement.
Yeah, I mean, like this is the more accurate one right here on the signs, where they're dropped down. That one's different than the one I have.
Can we go to that?
Is it in there?
If I could, I have a suggestion that we consider okaying the painting and come back with the awning at the next meeting.
So that's more like the middle awning right
Well, that's
there.
what- let me finish. So that was where I was going, is exactly what you said. Does it in any way hurt you with the progress if you bring the awning and the signage back?
No,
Can we go
that's
ahead and move
fine.
forward on the painting?
Right now, I'm hung up with getting someone out there to measure my awning.
Then you can have the accurate rendering and we can
Sure.
all understand and we can know
Okay,
that it
yeah.
meets. So that's my proposal to the,
And if you'll kind of give us some guideline of how much you want to see above that, then when she talks to the
Yeah.
awning person, and you see the profile only can go up 2
I
foot
would
or.
say as much as could be
Right.
left exposed above the awning
Right.
would be my preference.
Yeah.
Especially if in that space, we're also talking about signage.
Now we've got that out of the way, let me ask you this. How are you going to remediate that area that's been exposed?
Talking about the holes up there?
Well, the holes are gonna become bigger holes, so I imagine you're gonna rip that all off.
No, we're cleaning it up.
It's gonna be,
Scrape
it's
and
gonna
clean.
be,
What do you?
is fill the right word or whatever, it's going to be
Plastered.
patched.
What will you put over top of it, do you know yet?
Over what, the holes or the facade? The whole
Over
facade?
The whole thing?
We're not putting anything, we're painting it. We're gonna
It's-
clean it,
right.
scrub it, and get all the excess off and then paint it
You know,
fresh.
You can repair those holes.
Yes, with plaster.
The contractor can, and that's part of the deal with the awning. You know, you're not gonna get that you look at Wayne's, we filled some holes on it, you're gonna see divots, you know, so unless you tore it all off and did the whole new plaster, but he's able to plaster and fill those things, because we talked to him about it. So it will be a plaster, it won't be a wood structure or anything like that. Square off, fill the holes and put wood up there, kind of like fills that
Yeah,
front of that building over there or
I don't
something.
want to surprise when I drive down the street one day.
No, it
No,
will
he's
be a
supposed to make it
plaster
look
building.
as seamless as possible. That's our goal.
When you were making a decision on awnings, did you look at any other styles of awnings to go over those two arched windows? I'm just curious.
We've looked at metal and canvas, and that's it. Are you thinking like maybe arched ones?
Yeah, we did see some drawings of that, and we didn't go for it, but the original, Charlie actually had done some drawings early on when we first met him that had a arched look to the awnings and
Did you consider a flat awning?
a what?
A flat metal awning like a lot of the buildings have on Main Street?
We did. We just thought, honestly, there were so many that had that. It would be nice to break it up with some canvas, give it a new look. And also, because of that building being so vast and long, that it would be nice to have something to break up some of the color.
The flat metal awning traditionally is what's been on most of the buildings in this town, especially when you look at some of the original photos of Main Street. All the buildings had a flat awning in front of them. And I appreciate that you want to create something that looks different and unique, but being preservation board, we want to maintain the look and feel of Main Street.
I understand. There's several canvases, one's down Mountain Street, so I didn't think that
There's
would be
also
me
cost.
trying not to not do that.
I can't listen to both of you.
I'm sorry.
Well, there's several canvas ones if you walk down Main Street, so I thought that was, considered an option.
Yeah, I understand, but we have turned down some in the past.
It's also cost.
So do you have like it's cost. Let's be
Well,
real.
I understand, yeah.
Yeah,
If you have some guidelines that you'd like to give me, I'd be happy to read through them.
I'll
I
share
think-
with you the guidelines
Yeah.
and see if that helps.
But it
I
didn't,
think we've expressed our feelings about the awnings enough at this point.
So you're declining those awnings, or you want me to come back with?
We want you to come back with something else, or something a little reduced in size if possible.
but the canvas itself would be okay if we can get them to a smaller portion, or so
I
more of
think
the white's exposed.
I think it might be, yes.
Okay,
So
at
Chris
this
needs
point,
for them to state their name and
I'm sorry.
address for the records.
Maddie Quate.
Your address.
My home or building, 401 West Main Street, Denison, Texas, 75020.
thank you. Appreciate what you have to say, and glad-
David Spindle, 1307 South Lang, Denison.
Are there any more questions or discussion? Then I'll entertain a motion to approve the paint.
I motion to approve the paint, preferring that, as you said, that you would do the proper treatment to the brick
Right.
that George has product.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Anyway,
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, we got one step down.
we'll see you at the next meeting.
Did you get name? Did you get an opposition? A nay here? 4-1. Thank you.
Okay, Don. Moving on, item C, receive a report, hold discussion, and take action on the request to add signage to the front of 110 South Fannin, item 2022-034H. Ms. Dow?
Sorry, Donna, can we get a motion to table the awning piece of that last action item,
Thank you.
if we could? Thank you.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's tabled. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Dow?
There is a new business going in on 110 South Fannin, and they have asked to paint some trim and then also to add their business signage and window lettering. And this is the building. They have looked through the color chart that was on our website and chosen the special peach, the colors shown there, and they have also shown a mock-up of what it would look like with that color on the building. And that's just the trim. And then here is the sign. They're looking at a 30 by 30 acrylic sign of the logo. And then the front window sill will have, or front window will have the hours in a cream color or white vinyl, approximately 12 by 12. And then the sign where the former sign was, the sign frame will be used there, and that shows where it would be located. So that's.
This is behind the old service station that's on Chestnut.
And they are here.
State your name and address, please, sir.
Jeff Castle, 105 Middlefield Drive, Pottsboro, Texas. This is my daughter's project. She's home with a sick 2-year-old and a 3-week-old today, so she's not here. She was putting a collective store in there where Totally Addicted was, handmade goods that all her and her friends, she has a network of young, typically female entrepreneurs, and they sell at the market at Zigzag Gallery every few months. And she realized there's a need for them to have a permanent spot, but they can't have a whole building. So she'll have a building full of tenants leasing shelf space where they can do their small items. Anyway, she wanted to make a few changes to the building as far as the color. And so I told her those weren't approved. The yellow, black, and I believe maroon were approved when we bought the building. So the signage, she hasn't had anybody design one yet. The sign you saw by the front door is acrylic, and it's, she's wanting to hang it on the blank space by those 2 front doors. The peach color is because the doors they were just finished in a neutral finish. They have no paint on them, and they're suffering a little bit. They need something besides a clear on them because they're exposed to the sun so harshly on that side. Not sure she can paint the frame around the window that same color because it's mainly bronze metal, especially at the bottom. And so really that's it. Put a sign back where the Totally Addicted sign was, and then signage on the windows that she hasn't had that laid out, and I'm sure she'll need to come back and show you guys that. Yeah, it'll be similar to that. The 30 by 30 is the biggest you could put up there, but I don't know if she'll want to have it shaped like Totally Addicted had theirs shaped or something.
So it'll be hanging at a 90-degree angle?
Yes, sir, on an original bracket. It'll hang out
Okay.
to the side by the awning like that.
Totally Addicted sign was?
Yes, yes,
So all you're asking is to paint the trim?
yeah.
All right, thanks, sir. Do you have any questions?
Mr. Castle, you said that the doors were suffering from light and
Uh-huh.
weather, and something needed to be done. They're gonna look the same, you're just gonna somehow
Right,
seal them.
yeah. Well, they'll be painted probably stained. We need to pressure wash them down and then stain them up and get the trim done. But painting the doors the trim color would just be terrible. So,
Exactly.
Uh,
So we're not proposing that the doors would be painted the trim color.
No, the trim is essentially just around the, where it's black on the front of it now, it'll be peach colored. And then possibly the window, but possibly not the window.
Any other questions, comments? Thanks, sir.
You bet.
Thank you, Mr. Castle.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion. Anyone?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There being none, the motion's passed. Thank you. Okay, moving along. Receive report, hold discussion, and take action on the request to replace the fabric lining at 615 West Main. Item 2022-035H. Ms. Dow?
There is currently an awning there, and they just want to replace the fabric over the awning. That's what it looks like now. And so it would, yeah, I was trying to see if this is the same case. Dimensions, it's 42 by 3 foot, and it will match the existing. So they want the 615 painted on the fabric to show the address, and it'll be scalloped volants with white binding. And we do have the applicant here.
State your name and address, please, sir.
My name is Terry McGirt. My address is 10609 Sedalia, McKinney, Texas, 75070. We're looking at just changing the awning to the same fabric pretty much that we can get as close as possible. I know Rachel had taken a picture of the fabric. It's not on here, but it was the closest match that they could find. And then in the front of the awning, what we're going to do is we're going to put 615 West Main on there. So it'll just come off, be replaced, placed back on. It should look identical to the same, except for the lettering, the numbers.
Any questions, comments?
It's too bad you didn't put the 615 on your rendition so we could see
I know, it's sir.
What font?
That would have been good. It should just be a block print. A block. It should.
the. Be interesting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
About fonts.
We don't like italics.
So it is going to be, what color's the letters are the
White.
white?
Uh-huh. And according to the manufacturer, I guess they paint that on there. So the guys, was it BRD, the ones who do a lot of the awnings around here down the street, they're going to do it. So they said, I guess it's painted on. I didn't know how they did it at first, but.
Just out of curiosity, what are the cats at play sign? What is that about?
I don't know. The tenants upstairs put that there. So Bob, you need to be cautious.
So there's no reason why you put it in the picture.
Do what?
It was in the picture. I thought maybe there was something to that.
No.
I just had a few questions for you.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the request to replace the fabric awning at 615 West Main. Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
There being none, the motion's carried. Okay. Item E, receive a report, hold a discussion, and take action on the request to make updates, general repairs, and paint the facade at 431 West Chestnut. Item 2022-036H. Ms. Dow.
It's a former service station, and so basically they just want to freshen up the paint. It's faded over time, and so where the white paint was, they're proposing as necessary to repaint that, and then the skelly red, I think it's safety red on the card, would be painted over where the red was before. That's a picture of the building as it is. And that's the safety red is the requested color. Otherwise, if that's not approved, they chose a color, Lovely Love Song, off of our paint chart that was the only red really on there. And it is just for the trim. So, and we have the applicant here, Mr. Castle.
Mr. Castle?
I'm the painter. I'm Josh Downtain. I live at 1530 West Chestnut Street, Denison.
All right, Josh, thank you.
So the color that we're requesting was the same color that it is right now. So that we had an old paint can that was the existing color. We're just asking that that be approved instead of the approved color.
And you're just requesting to paint the trim?
Yeah, we're just trying to update the building, so we're gonna paint the red trim. There's a few spots on the white building that have some rust from the signs dripping down, so we were gonna do some touch up here and there on the white, and paint the red trim.
I'm sure you're aware that red will fade pretty quickly.
Yeah, yes, sir. It appears to have done that already.
You know how long ago that was painted that color?
I do not.
It would have been sometime around '07 the last time it was painted.
Okay.
But the building doesn't look like that right now. I don't know how old that picture is, but I sold that motor home years ago. But the poles out front have been repainted and the curbs are painted and they're much brighter red than that. It's aluminum, a metal, that band around there is aluminum with the exception of a couple of places that have been patched. And the safety red is available in industrial enamel.
Correct.
At Sherwin-Williams, and it's way more durable.
Which is an oil-based.
And having paint mixed and all that, so.
What about the awning on the side? Would you be painting that as well?
I think we have intentions of just replacing the fabric on that awning.
Okay, is that fabric?
There are two, no, it's one big one. But yeah, it's getting faded and that'll be on our future agenda, not on this.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
I understand that the sign turntable may still operate.
It does.
Looking forward to seeing you put a sign back up there.
Well, I have a guy dying to do it, but all the codes say that it can't rotate, so I'm not very motivated at this point. It'd be a nice novelty thing, you know, I mean, reason to run it all the time, but, it is kind of cool, because it's still got a single incandescent bulb in the middle, and then it rotates, so.
Very good, thank you. Excuse me. Any questions from the board members? I'll entertain a motion, please.
Motion to approve painting 431 West Chestnut.
Have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There being none, the motion is carried. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Sorry, Chairman, just for clarification, is that the safety red that you're approving?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Item 4, staff updates. Receive report and hold discussion regarding staff updates. No?
So this is the Bella Fontana complete package after it's been done. So just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you.
And that's it.
Motion to adjourn.
I thoroughly enjoy that building. The view I have now compared to the view I had before. The paint that existed.
Mr. Castle, I appreciate what you're saying, but we went through a lot of trouble on that.
Yeah, there's always trouble. But
We
it's
wanted
great
you to
building.
have a beautiful view.
And you
It's
can
all
see it from
about
Main
you.
Street, so, you know, it pulls people down the side street. I think it's a great deal.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
We're out of here. Thank you all.